What's up, everybody? My name is Lee Shaner, and you're tuned into You Feel Me. Here we are on this luxurious gold set in the middle of our 12 Moods project. And as you can see with all the gold, this month's mood is dope. And when picking an artist that was dope to me, I didn't have to look any farther than somebody that's been just running my playlist, just dominating my playlist for the last couple of years, and that is Valee. So here we are sitting with Valee. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Most definitely.
Happy to be here.
One of the things that dope means to me, right? When defining dope, it's things that artists do that are intangible, those things that you can't really quantify, those little kind of abstract qualities an artist have that make them so appealing, right? And I think that's what's so dope and unique about you is that you just are chock full of these intangibles.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, man. I want to start off with what I think is kind of a mission statement of yours on the 1988 tape. You start off by saying, I'm going to start my own shit. I'm about to start my own shit. Yeah. And I think that's something you've really done. You've kind of created your own wave and your own sound, which is kind of like almost exists on this island in rap music by itself, which makes me think maybe you're kind of a loner because you approach it from this outside perspective. But then at the same time, now people are kind of starting to ride that wave and trying to like swim over to that island to catch up, which makes me think you're also a bit of a leader. And so I'm just wondering, like, would people in your life describe you as simultaneously a loner and a leader?
Yeah, definitely. Probably my mom for sure. She knows I always gotta advance something or change something, like any and everything. I don't know why. I gotta figure out everything.
Yeah, you do like to figure stuff out, right? You're a bit of a builder, a tinkerer.
Yeah, like if I need something done, I end up doing it myself because I think on it so much. I ended up actually doing it. So the only thing to do is just physically do it.
Mm-hmm. Like what? Like what things have you just taught yourself how to do?
Anything. I moved to a place, it needed a kitchen, like from scratch. And so I replicated the kitchen I lived in for like 8 or 9 years. This kitchen's like 3 times better, though.
No shit.
Yeah.
And how do you learn to just build a kitchen?
Just need it done. And then I pay attention to everything. So, living somewhere I know I want a place just like it, but bigger.
Yeah.
So that was just, I guess, drilled in my head. And, yeah, man, I mean, same exact cabinets and everything.
You built all the cabinets?
No, I bought them.
Okay.
I bought them, but built the, everything, the walls, everything for it to go on.
Because you do know a little bit about carpentry and shit, right?
Yeah.
How you learn about carpentry? That's something that when this project is over, I'm going to start taking night classes and figure out carpentry because I feel like my hands, they're getting too soft. I need to get some calluses on them. You know what I mean? So how did you get into carpentry?
Really, by needing stuff done.
Yeah.
I would, I went to trade school for electrical and construction and maintenance, but we didn't build anything in there. So really the building part just comes from, like I said, want something done and you figure it out. Like,
yeah.
It's not hard.
So you didn't have nobody teaching you the tools? Was your dad a carpenter or anything like that?
No.
Yeah.
No, nobody showed me.
Wow.
I think my mom, like when I was little, she started a home daycare. So in the basement, so I did see like framing work, and then we had like the attic finished, and going through 3 or 4 different people that wasn't doing it right, but I didn't know what the hell was going on. But now I actually could do it. But it comes from needing something done, and nobody's there to do it for you, or they're not gonna do it. I feel like it's gonna take a lot out of me explaining it to somebody how to do it. So
right.
I just end up doing it.
That daycare that your mom started, that's in Chicago?
Yeah, that was in Chicago, but that was when I was a kid.
Okay.
And then it grew into schools.
You're born and bred in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd your family end up in Chicago? Just generations and generations, or is it from recent?
Generations. But really, like my great grandmother, I think they were in Mississippi, and then they came up to Chicago from there.
Yeah. You love Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think you'll stay there?
Yeah.
Really?
Always.
What are some things you love about your hometown?
For one, I like. It might sound crazy, but I like dangerous. Keeps you sharp. Keeps you like far from ever really being naive in any surroundings. So I really like that, and I think it helps me make music. I don't think I could stay anywhere all like peaceful and then still be trying to put out this this type of music.
Right, like music with an edge or something, you know?
Yeah, I keep my edge and everything with being in Chicago, and then I know it like the back of my hand. So I feel a lot of places. It's flaws in a lot of other places that's not in Chicago. Chicago's perfect. Only thing about Chicago is the cold.
Yeah, it is cold.
But then you find, living there every year, you find ways to not ever really be cold when it's cold.
Right. I mean, you just got to stay inside.
Yeah, or just, you move a certain way.
Yeah.
I'm never really cold in Chicago.
Well, are you a bird that takes flight in the winter and heads to somewhere else?
No, I stay there. I just, what do you call it, counteract stuff, car always running type stuff, and, I don't bundle up, though.
I was telling Rio, I grew up in Alaska, and that was one of our things, too, is like, when it gets to a certain temperature, you just got to leave the car running all day.
Yeah.
Because actually, it takes less exhaust to, like, just leave it running than it does to restart it all them times and wait for it to warm up, Yeah. Yeah. We get the cars winterized up there so that you could take the key out the ignition and it'll keep running and you can lock your doors and shit.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a trick to the trade of the cold. Yeah. Let me ask you this. The way that you approach rap music, right? I think that one of the things that makes you so dope is that you're really out here styling. Like on some rap nerd shit, like you're styling, like you're approaching the game in a different way. You're approaching rhythms and pockets and melodies differently than I've heard really any other rapper. And where I think that a lot of people who try to, quote unquote, progress the art form, they might change their subject matter or their topics to try and be like, nobody's talked about this before, but they're doing it in rehash styles that people have been doing for 20 years. Whereas you're kind of utilizing the same rap tropes that we heard. Like, you're talking about sex, drugs, money, guns, whatever, but you're doing it in a way that I've never heard anybody talk about it before, right? So I'm wondering if that goes all the way back to your youth. Like, were you in English class, like approaching creative writing topics from like these weird off-kilter ways that you do your raps now? Or is that something that just like life experiences helped you pick up?
Yeah, probably. Well, I think just wanting to rap in the last 6, 7, 8 years helped me pick up. I guess when I really get into something, I dive all the way into it, and 'cause when I was younger in school and stuff, I didn't pay attention really. I knew it wasn't necessary. I knew it was school is a wonderful babysitting program for kids up until high school. It's really all mostly unnecessary. But yeah, I didn't know I would do music then at all. So I was, if not being bad or getting kicked out, 'cause of temper tantrums and stuff, I would be teacher's pet or something. But without doing so much extra work like a teacher's pet would do. Yeah.
So you're just getting kicked out for throwing temper tantrums?
I used to have real bad temper tantrums.
How come?
I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. And, and I guess we would be in like JCPenney or something. And I wouldn't like something, my mama said I would just be banging my head and having a temper tantrum and kicking my legs in the middle of the floor. She'd have to walk away from me. And that's what made me stop. She stopped reacting, and so she would just walk away.
That's smart.
And when I see nobody gives a shit out, I guess I'll just get up.
Snap out of it.
Snap out of it.
Are you a younger sibling?
No, I'm an older sibling.
You're the older?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
my brother was like a real tantrum kid, but it was the younger thing. I always figured it was like a little brother thing. How many other siblings you got?
One little brother.
One little brother. What's your guys' age difference?
He's like 21.
Yeah. Oh, so he's a lot younger. Yeah. And did you guys? What was your household like growing up? Was it just mom?
No, it was mom and her husband.
Yeah, right.
Boyfriend till husband.
Stepdad type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys got along?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What was he into? Like, was he a builder and shit too?
No. His ass worked every day. Still, he worked every day, and he's just there, for my mom.
Yeah.
I never did like no bike riding or I never had anybody to like go bike riding with and do all the whatever fathers and sons do.
Yeah. I feel that. Similar. So is that why you start getting in trouble as a kid? Or are you just like instantly just hanging out doing bad shit as a little kid as like a rebellious thing?
No. We were from the projects from the Robert Taylor homes, and then my family is the type of family one person stay in the building, the whole family want to stay in that building or in the surrounding buildings. So I don't know. My auntie and grandma, they had their couple of real kids, and then they also had foster kids.
Oh, okay.
And the foster kids, they was bad as hell.
Yeah.
And so it was, I don't know, it was this thing my auntie did that I didn't see nothing wrong with it, but we would, she loved us, of course, and everything, but we would play, and she'd feed us and everything, and, when it's nap time or when she want to watch her stories, everybody get a whooping.
Because you just cry yourself to sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And it's a great idea. You telling five boys to go in a room and go to sleep. It's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to watch your stories. You're going to be steady yelling back there. So, everybody gets a whooping no matter what.
Wow.
And you cry yourself to sleep. And so, I don't know, I think that might have made me immune to pain, always wanting pain.
Yeah.
And my mom and her husband took off work one day and told me to take a nap. And I come in her room 20 minutes later crying and talking about I need a damn whooping.
To get to sleep.
And she called Auntie,
Wow.
and Auntie say, yeah, whoop his ass. I whoop their ass every day.
Oh, my gosh. That's quite a story, man.
Yeah. But
So,
I would do it all over again.
Well, it's interesting because that ties into what you're just saying about not wanting to leave Chicago because you always want to be a little scared or something, It's like
I
maybe
need
that
a little pain
to get you to sleep at night.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah. The Robert Taylor homes, did they call those brick body?
I don't know. They just call it Robert Taylor. Or
Those just got tore down recently, right?
No, they've been torn down.
Oh, okay.
It was on like 53rd and State.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been tore that down. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my mom would put me in different schools. If I get kicked out of a school, she'd put me in a school. Hopefully they got a big fat principal man or something, thinking I'll be intimidated by him, and then he'll kick me out too.
And that didn't work?
No.
Yeah. How many schools you got kicked out of?
I counted a few years ago. I know I've been to like 13 grammar schools.
Oh my gosh. And now, here's the thing is that in listening to your music and your creativity and the fact that you're able to just teach yourself to do so many things and kind of, from what I've read, I don't know you know what I mean, but you seem like a very well-rounded human, you know what I'm saying? Like, looking back, do you think that it's that you were just people didn't realize your potential and perhaps you were bored with school so you needed to lash out, or did you really just like actually hate learning? You know what I'm saying?
I could have been bored, and it was just anything. Like if the teacher wasn't right or something, I would pick at her or something like that. Or
did you feel like you could read people and figure out what would get on their nerves easy?
Yeah, and if they I don't know, if the teacher like, if they did anything or picked at me or tried to like say I did something, I didn't do it, then I would just have it out for them and just try to make their day hell. When they go home, they're telling their husband about me. Yeah.
Do you think that stems from feeling like you were smarter than your teachers?
No, I wasn't smarter.
Yeah.
But some teachers are really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just they antagonize kids. They're in charge of a classroom, and what a lot of people don't know is they pick a few kids and they really antagonize them.
Make an example of them.
Well, they just do dumb shit they shouldn't do toward those kids. They make those kids try to make you get in trouble.
So each time that you're bouncing from school to school, what's that doing to you? I mean, not like emotionally, or even just like, is it shitty and sad having to start over and make new friends every time you leave a different school? Or are you keeping in contact with the friends you had from the last one? How's that?
No, it felt great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You like starting over?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But a lot of those schools were a lot of that shit was from before like 6th grade, 5th grade.
Yeah.
Half of those schools was preschool, kindergarten, 1st and 2nd. I was terrible.
Just throwing tantrums there and shit.
Yeah.
Were you one of those? Man, I used to have a kid in my like 1st grade class who would freak out and like take his shoes off and throw them and shit, or like try to like knock out the lights with the shoes and stuff. Were you doing that kind of wild shit?
Well, I just know I did on Chicago and Lakeshore Drive. I went to this summer camp for one summer or half a summer or something, and it was this kid. Like we watching Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka.
Oh yeah,
or
Willy
something.
Wonka. Yeah.
And he scooted his chair over in front of me on purpose. And so when I tell the instructor, they shush me. And so I'm asking the kid to move over. He's not moving over. And I just go up there and pull the TV. I broke the TV, and the VCR and shit all fell over and stuff.
Wow.
I got whooped.
But see, even that to me is an interesting solution it's like just...
Well, it felt good.
It's like you went a different route than I was expecting the story to go, because I thought you were going to be like, oh yeah, the kid was in front of me, so he was sitting in front of me, so I choked him out or something. But instead, you went around the kid and fucked it up for everybody, right? And broke the TV and broke the VCR.
Because, shit, it's not his fault. I guess we gonna fuck with each other and play with each other. But if I tell the teacher and you shush, then shit, won't be no TV for a while then, even for the teacher.
Yeah.
That mean you have to control us for that hour you was finna just skate through.
Yeah.
Because there's no TV. It's no...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's really interesting. I don't even know where to go with that. But I want to ask you, so when's the time that you start getting into trade schools then? Is it like after 6th grade, 7th grade? Like, did you go to high school at all? Or just...
Yeah, I went to high school.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I never really liked being at school shit more than you were supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So I never
no
took
extracurricular?
Nothing. Never, ever.
No sports?
No, ever.
Really?
Because sports, you got to be there before school, after school, and I want to be at home outside riding my bike or whatever. Yeah, I didn't want to take the SAT or the ACT.
Because you just knew college wasn't a thing.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to college.
Yeah.
I figured as soon as school is kind of unnecessary, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Right.
So high school was it, and I didn't want to take either one of those tests, and the only way to not take the test and not go to college was to pick a trade. Yeah. Mama like, you going to pick a trade or something. You're not going to just, be done. You got to get something under your belt. So I picked that, which was that was easy.
And so that was like electrical.
Yeah, electrical construction and maintenance in one under one thing. And took like a year and a half, which I had to repeat like 4 or 5 months a session of it because it was hot outside and
you just didn't want to be inside.
I was ditching trade school.
Yeah. That's funny.
To be outside.
So, and what were you doing when you're outside ditching trade school?
Yeah, you know, just outside and
wild shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now does trade school
not wild shit, but you know, entertaining women and stuff and driving my car and rims, all that shit.
What was your first car you got?
Clubs. My first car was a family car. It was like a Ford Taurus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And did you learn how to start working on cars on that?
Yeah, I started like changing shit on that car, and I put wheels on it and all that stuff, and then realized if I wanted to do that, I needed another type of car. So
right, because wheels on a Taurus is still a Taurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was perfect for that age.
Yeah.
And then I had to hurry up and get out of it.
Yeah. What was the next car? What was your first car that was like a passion project?
Monte Carlo.
A Monte Carlo?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what'd you do to it?
What year was that? Just rims and rims on the first one and music and sounds and stuff like that.
Would you have 16s in there or something? Would you?
No, I had all kind of like speakers and shit, and then I had one day I wanted it to be so loud, so I went and bought like this new speaker that had just came out. It was one 18-inch kicker speaker.
Yeah.
And it was like louder than like fucking 12 speakers or something. It was loud. It was a competition speaker.
Did it make the car rattle though?
Yeah.
Like when you turn it up, you know what I mean? Like all the panels sound loose and shit.
Yeah, but no, because it was still like a new car. But yeah, after a while, that's what would happen.
Yeah.
My trunk was broke. I had to like rig that to keep that. Yeah, it was nice.
You start working on engines too?
No. It wasn't speed back then. It was just like nice looks and loud music.
Yeah, right. What color was it? Did you paint it or anything?
No, it was red.
Yeah, right.
But I got out of the sounds and stuff in the car. I had got my car impounded twice in 1 month. And it was like $1,600, $800 both times.
Jeez.
And I took that shit out.
When you're in trade school, like, do you feel yourself finally taking a little bit to it? You're like, oh, okay, now I can see like this has purpose because it's like teaching me how to do something rather than just teaching me these abstract ideas.
Yeah, and no, I mean, because I don't know. I guess every time with school, I would just do what I have to skate by.
Yeah.
Didn't really remember anything.
I got
you know. Yeah.
And what kind of jobs were you doing once you got out of trade school?
No jobs. I was just, my mom had those schools, and then her friends and other people had centers and stuff all around the south side of Chicago, even the west side. But what I did was created a company, you know, named after my son, and I contracted like through like 6 or 7 schools, and I just they would email me, you know, anything need to be done, I would just take care of it within a week. So I really didn't have like a schedule or anything after high school.
Yeah, so like handyman shit, contractor shit.
Yeah, that, anything like replacing appliances, anything, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you when you had your first son?
Like 19.
19?
Yeah.
And what's that like? Was there a sense of joy, a sense of panic? What was going on?
I don't think I knew how to feel exactly. I just knew I was going to work really hard. I know I got real fucked up the day he was born though, and I came back I came back to the room and his mom laid down on the bed, but I'm throwing up all over the damn hospital room.
Really?
And laying on the floor.
Because you was out celebrating too hard, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
And I'm all over the floor. And
Yeah.
I just remember, I took it there.
Yeah. You needed the hospital more than she did at that point?
Yeah, I'm laying there and, brand new baby there, and then she can't too much help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear from a lot of my friends who have kids early that, like, having that first child, like, really, it's a wake up call. Like, you're in hustle mode now. It's time to grind. It's time to take care of shit. Did you get that sensation?
Yeah, kind of, sort of, but not too much yet. But I guess I wanted to. I started living toward that more.
Yeah.
Like, what do I have to do? But that's not all the way true, because I still was having fun for 3, 4, 5 years, 3, 4 years, and then I stumbled across, like, making music kind of on accident, but on purpose.
Yeah. What was the accident?
I had just moved into a new place, my first place, and then I guess after some weeks I was bored, so I was gonna go get some kind of entertainment. I had TVs, but I didn't have, like, I guess I was missing a game system. So I was gonna go get a game system, but I just realized I don't really play the game like that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I just remembered that I used to make beats, like, and I used to record too. But
when you say used to, like, what age were you making beats and recording? Like
high school.
Okay, yeah.
And
would you have Fruity Loops or something?
Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
Funny thing, the guy that stayed next door to me, his name was Chase.
Yeah.
And one of my producers now, name is Chase the Money, but Chase, who stayed next door, he was really into, like, Kanye West and chopping and sampling music. So I learned through him how to, all these groups, I just started downloading all this music, anything, the Delphonics, anything you could think of.
Old soul music that you could speed up and loop,
Everything. Yeah. And I was making beats like that.
Yeah.
And not really from scratch, not really like trappy.
Yeah.
But I was making beats like that, and my computer crashed, though. At the same time, I had got, like, a new car, car.
Yeah, the
so
car.
The Taurus. So
the Taurus.
all my attention went to, like,
the
cars
car
now.
And beats was in the past.
Yeah.
And, were you writing raps over the beats too?
Yeah, a couple of my friends from high school, like junior and senior year, really junior year, we started, like, rapping once they found out I had, like, speakers in the room and a computer and a microphone and all that. Yeah, we started. I would record and make the beats.
You had was it a tower or a laptop?
It was a desktop.
Oh, desktop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where'd you get it?
It was like my mom's.
Your mom's, yeah.
She had, like, always had computers and for the daycares.
Yeah, of course. And so, like, how many beats do you think you lost in the hard drive crash when you got the Taurus?
Probably a lot of beats, but, back then they wasn't, like, they probably wasn't finished or constructed right. Like, it just sounded, I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of beats, though, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because I did make a lot of stuff. But the computers was always crashing, Windows back then on desktops, and we downloading through LimeWire songs and all. Yeah. Shit was going bad all the time.
Thanks for tuning in. Skullcandy wanted to show you some love for listening by hooking you up with 15% off your next purchase. Head over to skullcandy.com and use the code YouFeelMe19 at checkout to get 15% off anything site-wide. I usually try to avoid asking about influences, but yours are so, like, they're hard to pick up on. So I am curious, like, who did you grow up on? I've read that you like Project Pat, but, like, were Chicago guys a big influence on you as a kid? Was, like, the scene that was going on in Chicago a big deal to you?
No. I really wasn't, like, into music. Like, I liked, I got random memories. Like, I would have really expensive remote control cars, and say that's not good enough. So I would put it's a pickup truck, so I put a damn radio in the back and shit. And so
the remote control truck.
Yeah. And so now this is how I catch when Power 92 first starts in 2001 or whatever.
Yeah.
Cause I'm fucking playing with this toy car and they playing Aaliyah 1 in a Million.
Uh-huh.
So it's like I like shit like that because I got memories of it, and any old music like Sade and Whitney Houston. My mama would play all that when I was little.
Yeah.
On the way home at night, whenever, that's what she would play.
And then by the time you got the Monte Carlo, were you just looking for whatever thumps the hardest?
Yep.
And then what was that?
Whatever plays, whoever had the most beats with the most bass and all that, which was, oh man, it was a lot of stuff. It was Jeezy.
Oh yeah.
Jeezy with the 24 inches off the ground. You dig that? All that. Lil Wayne, the Drought.
Yeah.
All that.
Oh yeah, he was on fire back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. Anything that played made the bass sound as loud as it could.
Yeah. Now, at the time, I feel like you probably weren't asking yourself this or thinking this, but when you were making those first songs and beats and your friends start noticing that you're making beats and you start rapping with them a little bit, did you already have kind of a different style than what they were doing? Like, were you approaching it differently in hindsight? Or did people notice and go like, wow, you really got something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now thinking about it, yeah, because I was the one doing the recording and making the beats, and it was at my place where we was doing it. So probably, yeah.
So you were kind of the head honcho of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. And it was it was 4 of us, but it was another guy who was really more as serious as me in it, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after the Monte Carlo, you still got the Monte Carlo?
No.
No. What'd you get next?
Well, I had messed that Monte Carlo up, and then I ended up having to get I got an SS Monte Carlo.
Okay.
Same year, but just a SS and white. And then, they always advancing something. I got a white car, and my ass goes and paints the car whiter. But it was nice. It was really nice.
Yeah. What's a day like around then? Because you said that your work schedule was kind of up in the air, you know what I mean? Like you would do a call and just complete it when you needed to complete it by, but I'm sure you had a lot of free time.
Yeah.
So was it just a lot of cruising around, listening to music, chilling, whatever? Or like, did you have a specific routine?
That's a real good question. Cause I didn't smoke a lot back then either, so I don't know what I spent a lot of time doing.
Right.
Like at my mom's house.
I guess that's what I'm kind of wondering. Like, did life seem kind of like, were you lost at that time? Because it seems like now your life has such a powerful direction. But I wonder if, since you found it a little later, you know what I mean? Like, what was that just an in between period where you're like, yeah, I don't know, I was just out doing random shit?
No, I mean, I really always have nothing to do. Like every fucking day, I don't have anything to do. Man,
that's not a bad way to live in my eyes.
But I don't know what I be doing. Yeah. Like maybe when I had the Monte Carlos and stuff, maybe I was always like in the garage doing something to the car, figuring out what I could do to the car. Being impatient, waiting, saving money to get it painted or to get this, get that. Mm-hmm. Really. And also going to the clubs a lot. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. I would go to the clubs a lot. So, and I would play 2 Chainz a lot. His mixtapes helped tee me up. Mm-hmm. I wasn't rapping then either. I just played him a lot. Wore a lot of True Religion. Went to the clubs a lot. Had nothing to do.
I could see you being a 2 Chainz fan. Both of you guys are very clever with the one-liners and the non-sequiturs, you know what I mean? Like, you just say, like, offbeat shit, like where did that come from? So how did you end up falling back into the music by accident?
Going to get a game system, wanting a game system.
And then remembering you had the beats.
Remembering I used to do that stuff. And making that detour and going to Guitar Center. Because I also thought, I'm like, you know, everything I needed can't be that too bad. I think I had spent like $1,400 and had everything I needed.
And so what was that like? Did you get a
I got a mic, a interface.
Yeah.
I already had a computer. I got the 2 speakers. And I even bought something unnecessary, that machine beat pad thing.
Yeah.
And
with like the little keyboard on it and shit and the pads.
Yeah, all the pads.
Yeah, okay.
And ended up taking that back. That made my life more difficult, buying that shit.
Because you realize that you're like a Fruity Loops dude. You like to click on the mouse.
Yeah, or just everything right here.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so.
And so you just start getting back into making beats and shit.
Yep.
And
I said I wanted to learn how to. Yeah, because I was always downloading mixtapes. I had like a iPad in my SS, so it was, and that was my only way to play music. I had like moved the radio and all that, so it's just this iPad here, which encourages you every day you get in the car, you gotta download new mixtapes to that iPad, so you have something new to play. You know, make you want to speed, all kind of dumb shit. And I guess I had all that built up in me. So when I lived in that place and I did want to do music, I wasn't driving that car like that anymore because of the my neighbors. All the cars downstairs on the street, they were Range Rovers and BMWs, and I was like the youngest person in the whole building.
Yeah.
And it made me, I didn't want to park a SS down there. I wanted a foreign, because the foreign car shit was just like, you know.
That was the new shit.
And and I ended up just doing the music. And I said I wanted to make beats and songs like better than what I hear or, you know, on the radio.
You were listening to shit and you're like, I could do this.
Not even that.
Yeah.
It's just, I just probably told myself, man, it would be nice if I could make shit that sounds equal to this, or, you know, like that became the goal.
Yeah.
Like,
and an ongoing theme in your life is like, I want to teach myself to do shit. I want to learn something new, and no one's going to help me, so I'm going to do it myself. And so that's what you do, yeah?
And I got real into it, you know, and I had a couple people help me, like, really, well, like, not help, but it was, you know, one other good friend of mine who was really, really into music, you know, at that time, and had his own studio. And then, you know, he ended up introducing me to Rio.
Okay.
Rio Mac. And Rio really helped me. Because every day I'm doing music like it's nothing else to do. Like I've been doing music forever and I'm super famous. That's the way I feel doing music in my kitchen.
Right, by yourself.
But I hadn't put out anything, really.
What was your sleep schedule like about that? Me and Rio were talking about that off air. Like, a lot of producers, you know, they work through the night because it's the time that people don't bug them. Were you like that, where it's like you might sleep during the day but then work all night on music when everyone else is in bed?
Yeah, I'm really, really like probably against the grain type with the sleeping schedule, but it's all over the place. Sometimes sometimes I'll stay up a couple days because I'll be so driven on music, and you know, and then I go to sleep at 9 in the morning and get up at 8 at night, so I just got all my sleep back, you know. And
just right back on it.
Or not even, I might, you know, stay asleep till 8 in the morning, so now, you know, then I'm up for another 2 days or 3. It depends.
Yeah, wow.
Sometimes I sleep every day, all day, for like 3-4 days.
So when you meet Rio, are you showing him stuff you've been working on?
Yeah.
And what he said?
Well, no. I'm not, you know, I'm not showing him music I'm working on. I'm being so damn picky, and he's learning it quickly at the same time. So I'm telling him I want a beat or what I want it to sound like, but I'm not really explaining it. And, you know, of course, he's making wonderful beats, but, you know, we had like 2 or 3 sessions. And he, bro, just play me some shit. Play me like, you know, something. And I'm like, no, I don't, you know. And like the second session, he started making this beat, but I had to go. And I said, yeah, now that sound good. When I come back, I'll rap, I promise, or something like that. And I came back and did a song. and I'm not even liking it while I'm doing it or after I did it. And then when I leave, he called me, and everybody who's coming over there, he just play music all day sometimes.
Yeah. People are like, what's that?
What's that? And so he said, man, he called me a couple times, and he's like, bro, I don't know what the hell it is, but this damn song, everybody asking about it. My pops, it was a Benji Nina song with it eventually had Ty Money on there from Harvey.
Yeah.
From Chicago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what it was. Rio called me and said everybody was asking about that song. They don't really do that.
Was that kind of your first song that ended up on SoundCloud and everything? That Ty Money joint?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
And so people just were instantly kind of picking it out, like, what is this? Because
everybody wanted to rap on it as well, because he would do like exclusive like sessions for like a handful of people, a little more, at the time, and yeah, everybody who heard it, they wanted to rap on it and didn't know who I was really, but they liked it. And so, him telling me that, it was, confidence, and especially me being from the South Side, and then I'm putting out music and I never put it out, and then the first thing I rap and people hear, they all from Harvey and everywhere, and they all like the song. So I studied and looked at stuff like that.
I mean, that's a really interesting thing about your music to me, is that even though like you are from Chicago, born and raised, like I wouldn't have picked you out as a Chicago artist the first time hearing it. Like it just sounds regionless, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of what I was talking about, like it existing on an island, because like you've got all these scenes going on in Chicago. You got the drill scene going on, you got this kind of art scene with like Saba and Chance and all the Save Money and all them dudes, and like you live in a world not even in between those, but like on the outside of all of them, It doesn't sound like nothing else.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
That was hard too. I don't know. It took some time though, but I had like maybe like a similar sound, the whole time while I was finding myself. But I used to be like a little louder and
like more aggressive or something.
Yeah, a little more aggressive, but not like. Yeah, a little more aggressive with like auto tune maybe sometimes.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, and I was also finding like the type of beats I wanted to come out on, because I wanted them to be trappy, but it took me a while to find the type of trappy.
Right.
It had to be like, sound like, the top people would want those beats.
Right, because they're trappy, but they're almost a little more sparse than other people. Like they have more room on them for you to kind of breathe on the track, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? They got a spacey feel to them almost. Yeah. Yeah, that brings me to like talking about how you don't really sound like anything else and regionless. Like it's interesting to me the type of people that you're appealing to right now, because it seems like all walks of life are kind of like on the Valee train right now. You got the dudes that only like the most like hardcore of hard raps, to all the way down to like like you were saying, the skaters and like I know a lot of hipster dudes that are hella into you. Like it seems like all these different subsets and factions all agree on one thing, and it's like your music. You know what I mean? Like, is that a weird feeling? How is that?
It's a great feeling, especially slowly finding out one at a time or a little bit at a time who you reached or touched. So that's pretty good, especially remembering where you were sitting, what room you were in when you recorded it or whatever. But I do try to probably one of the craziest things is I could listen to stuff and what people are saying is it ruins me a little bit, meaning like I can't say words that they've said, So I can't. I gotta find a different way all the time. I'm back to the drawing board all the time to find, because anytime I open my mouth, I gotta say things a different way. Than I heard, and 9 times out of 10, there should be some kind of cool way, because I'll X out like a lot of the ways I heard. Or I try to appeal to everybody. Anything. It could be anything. It could be a reference to an old school, and then I'll get all these like bro, that line you said about the old school, you know, and I go through that every day and anything.
Trying to make sure you're not running over anybody else's shit, like that you're just approaching it differently, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and just finding a sentence to
differentiate.
Yeah, a sentence in every song that that relates to somebody.
Right.
Everybody almost.
Do the melodies come quick? Is it a gut instinct thing? Because your melodies are very different from what I hear out there too, and they're very recognizable. Like I think there are only a handful of songwriters that really approach lead lines that are so recognizable that if somebody else sings them, you're like, oh, that person must have wrote that. And I think you're one of those dudes. So is that something that just comes instantly when you hear a beat, or do you stew on stuff for a while?
It's always the beat, really.
Yeah.
That makes me. I try to find the best way to complement the beat.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of is a way for every beat. It's like a 1 or 2 or 3 ways to approach it, honestly. And then, because you can mess up a lot of stuff.
Right.
But yeah, depending on how the beat is just made and put together, it's a way to approach it.
Yeah.
Whereas you can't really mess it up.
Yeah. So, you know, going along with the dope theme, I think it's very dope that one of who's considered the greatest living rappers, like, kind of handpicked you to sign you to good music. So how does it feel when Pusha T reaches out and is like, hey, you know, we fuck with what you're doing. Do you want to join the team?
That felt good because now when I was younger, I did like the clips and the grinding. So I played that so much, even though it didn't. The bass, that was the thing about that song. I liked that song so much, but it was no bass like that.
Yeah.
So, I really respect Push. Yeah. And even when I talked to him the couple times I conversated with him, you know, he had a lot to offer and teach quickly in a little time. So that felt good. I told my mom right away.
Yeah, what'd she say?
She automatically knew who he was.
Really?
You know, yeah.
That's tight.
Yeah, I was able to, like, you know, it was. I used to watch this shit, like, even on her big screen in the living room, and it was Cash Money and Birdman and them.
Yeah. But now that you are in the major label system, right? Since you are someone who's used to doing something like on a whim, like, hey, I want to learn to do this, let me learn to do it, then I'm gonna figure it out, or I'm gonna make this song, then I'm gonna put it out my way. Is it a learning process now that there has to be more hands in the pot or more cooks in the kitchen? You know what I'm saying? And like, is it a test of your patience to not just be able to be like, boom, I made this, I'm gonna drop it, whatever? Like, because now you have to kind of like play that label game, right?
Well, yeah. Really, I figured that at the end of the day, if it's really, 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 really good, it's a walk in the park. So I just concentrate on making really wonderful music, and then it's kind of so far, and I think it always will be. I think they let anything you say or want, you know, they let it be your world. It's your ball, you know. So I just focus on making the best music I can. So I wouldn't just throw anything at them, you know. And that's really good and motivational too, just to know that their support is behind me so good, so well. Every song we want to put out is no problem.
Yeah, that's good.
Or project.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I feel like the whole industry picked up on you last year, and you worked with such a wide variety of artists. It goes to that thing of appealing to a wide variety of people again. But, you know, you got dudes who are relatively underground SoundCloud heads like Matt Ox, all the way to people who've had huge #1 hit singles like Jeremiah, and a lot of people are wanting to work with you. And you know, if you had a dream artist to work with, do you have anybody that you wish you could make a song with right now?
Wish I could make a song with I'd say like 2 people.
Sure, you could say infinity people.
I would like to work with 2 Chainz and Erykah Badu, and I want to make something trappy with like Jill Scott.
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't know, you know, people Yeah, I've been supposed to work with people like maybe Uzi and
Oh yeah.
people like YG, and
That'd be hard.
But yeah.
So you got a lot of stuff. You got a lot of artists to look forward to working with, because I'm sure everybody will get you in the studio soon enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just released a record this year. It's kind of the big debut. And I read somewhere that you made something like 250 songs on it before you started kind of etching it out. Is that right?
Yeah, and well, Rio does a wonderful job of having all the music in the drive, or majority of it. So we counted one day or guesstimated.
Yeah.
It was about that many songs, but more that I had recorded.
At that point, when you got that many songs gathered up, how do you even go about sorting through them all to decide how many make the record? Is it outside brain trust? Is it just the two of you?
It's outside. It's outside other people too that we're close with.
Yeah.
But it happens random.
Yeah.
Like maybe chilling and smoking and just playing music, or people will just bring what song in my head, and then
that one's stuck in
and
there.
Then,
yeah.
It's stuff like that. And when we play it, it's we got to put this out.
Yeah.
So it's either we jumping to do a video for it and just put it out as a teaser,
Yeah.
or jumping to put it on a project. But it depends. We don't really sort down through all the songs, but we just pick them as they fly back to us. Kinda.
Yeah. I feel like I would be remiss not to ask about Chase the Money. How did you meet? How did you meet Chase the Money? How did you guys' working relationship come about?
I met Chase the Money really some kind of really cool way. I barely go on my phone, and I go in the phone and I go on Instagram, and I literally scroll up like maybe 3 people. And then I hear this beat, and it's like one of the best beats I heard at that time. And I didn't even know who he was, and I didn't know his name. I didn't pay too much attention. So I just messaged him under the thing. I'm like, I want this beat, like right now, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
And then and then he said, pull up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, pull up? So where the hell is he? And then I say, where you at? And he say Vic Crib, and Vic Crib is DJ Victoria's crib, which I would go over there from time to time. So for me to just randomly be on Instagram and hear this beat I like, and then you say pull up, and you 15 minutes away, but you don't live in our city, right? So I went over there and bought a few beats, and he looked out for me, and I bought a few beats and did 2 songs to him, I think.
Yeah.
And and sent them back to him, and everybody liked it.
That's tight. That's like fate.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, and now you're the infamous producer tag for him. Chase the money, chase the money. Like now, when you start hearing that producer tag, and then somebody else is on the beat, is that like, I don't know, how's that feel? Is that cool?
Yeah, it feels like. Well, for one, I am on the song.
Yeah. Every time if that producer tag's on there, you're on the song, no matter what.
Yeah, that tag is me, so it feels like
you
I'm
are
on the song.
That's right. Okay,
that's what it feels like. Yeah.
You got the collab regardless.
Yeah, I'm on there. Like I feel like it could make the song come on better.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like that's such like a legacy to leave, to be a producer tag, man. That's a dope accomplishment.
Yeah, I recorded that. That was a night I did. Like I recorded myself like 3 or 4 songs. I was in my bathroom.
Yeah.
And in the bathroom, because that's where it was the quietest.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The shortest room. It was in like a loft. So everywhere else had all this big. Yeah. So I recorded it perfect in the bathroom.
Nice. Well, shit, man. I think we did what we came to do. I appreciate you stopping by.
I appreciate it. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, man. It was dope. No pun intended. But you're gonna perform today. You're gonna do a shell for the live performance. I'm excited to see that. And then before we go, tell the people where we can find you online.
Online, you can find me at Valee. Yeah. But that's every platform. Well, Twitter, Instagram. Whatever. No Snapchat, and Facebook, I believe, is, everywhere is Valee.
You look on YouTube, Valee, Valee. Tons of music videos, tons of content, hours of good songs. You on Spotify, wonderful Spotify playlists out there full of Valee songs. So, yeah, man. I'm happy that we caught you before the exponential rise to dominance that I expect. That said, my name is Lee. You guys, some of you guys might know me as Intuition. This is You Feel Me, Skullcandy's podcast where we talk to music and artists about culture and life. You can find me on the internet at It's Intuition across Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right.